Welcome to Martin Survival. So what we have here is a couple pieces of cottonwood fungus. And a lot of folks will get this misunderstood with a true tinder fungus, also known as chaga. This works in the exact same way pretty much. However, the difference is one grows up north on a birch tree and this grows on the cottonwood tree. But like I said, we can use this almost the exact same way as chaga. I couldn't help but notice that cottonwood tree was riddled with this all over its trunk. And what happens is once the trunk, or the tree I should say, starts to die out and decay, this will grow on the inside and slowly push its way out to the outer shell of the tree. And we can then gather it, and I want to show you right now how this is used. So I'll head back over to these cottonwood trees and we'll look for a tinder bundle. All right, so over in here we have our tinder. This is a cottonwood tree, and you can see the inner bark is excellent. It's highly combustible. So this is what I want to gather. Now, when you find a cottonwood tree in the wild, it should never be ignored. It's used for so many things. Like I said, we got that tinder fungus, but these are all signs of water. So there's quite a bit of cottonwood trees in this area, and I know if I travel around this generalized area, I am going to eventually find water. Another thing is, of course, its properties. We have the inner bark that we can use for a tinder bundle, and I'm going to do that right now. We'll go ahead and gather it. But we can also use some of these dry limbs for a primitive fire set. We can use it for a bow drill spindle, we can use it for a hand drill hearth, even a bow drill hearth. So with this tree alone, we have almost all the components we need to keep warm at night. Not only that, cook our food, disinfect water, and most important, keep the critters away. Part of outdoor living is understanding the environment and being able to recognize different plants and trees. In this case, the cottonwood tree has a few distinct features I'm going to cover right now. The outer bark on this tree has a very rough, kind of disfigured look to it. So that's the first way to identify the cottonwood tree. A second way is through its leaf. Each leaf has a delta shape to it, almost like looking at the spade on a deck of cards. So a few different ways in understanding and recognizing the cottonwood tree. Now that I got my tinder bundle processed down and it's ready to go, I'm just going to go ahead and place that to the side. And now I'm going to create fire. So here's that fungus once again, and all I do is I break off a nice good chunk of this, just like that. So here we have it. Here's a nice good chunk of that fungus. And I also have a metal match. Now, if you didn't have this metal match, or also known as a ferro rod, we would have to resort to flint and steel, or we would have to resort to making fire with sticks and taking that ember and licking this piece of fungus. But in this case, I did come prepared, and all I'm going to do is take the saw of my Multitool, which has a nice sharp spine, and I'm going to throw a spark right up against this piece of fungus. And at this point, I can do two things. I can either use this piece of fungus for transferring fire, or I can create fire right now. So that's a good thing about this. It keeps on smoldering and it'll never go into flame. I need to add this to combustible material in order to create flame. So that's burning nice and hot. And I'll just add it, in this case, to my tinder bundle. And there we have it. We have flame. All right, folks, so that's just about going to wrap things up for me today. Once again, identifying that fungus, making a tinder bundle, and ultimately creating fire. That is life-saving out here in the field. So with that, I do appreciate you joining me for this video. I'm Jeff with martinsurvival.com, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.